Okay, the time is approximately 7 p.m., or 6 p.m., excuse me, ahead of myself. May 22nd, 2025, Farragut Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting will now begin. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and online. I want to thank you for your presence at tonight's Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting. My name is Ron Williams, the fourth elected mayor of town of Farragut. We appreciate that each of you has taken the time from your busy schedules to either attend or view tonight's meeting to see how our town government works. All Farragut Board of Mayor and Aldermen meetings are public notice per Tennessee state law. All board meetings minutes that are taken and are available at a later date. Each meeting will be recorded. It can be viewed at a later date on YouTube. If you're in attendance, you should be able to pick up a copy of tonight's agenda at the door when you came in. If you were not able to attend tonight and are viewing from home, then the agenda is available online at our website. For those in attendance that would like to speak, please pick up a blue card at the door and write your name and the agenda number you wish to comment on. There will also be time reserved near the end of the meeting for citizens' comments on non-agenda subjects, which also requires that you fill out a blue card with citizen comments and turn it in to the town recorder. On each agenda item, the mayor will ask the town recorder for residents' input. During this time, any Farragut resident wishing to speak to the board on a specific agenda item may do so for up to 3 minutes. After being recognized by the mayor, please go to the podium microphone in order to be heard and viewed by all. To conduct efficient business-like meetings, the town has adopted rules for how its meetings will be conducted. Primarily, these rules are designed to keep the meeting moving, assure that all points of view are heard and considered, and to provide common courtesy to everyone. We ask that you observe the established meeting rules when addressing the board. At the beginning of the presentation, please state your name and address for the record. We ask that you address all of your questions to the mayor or in his absence, the vice mayor. Please do not direct questions to the alderman or staff members. If necessary, the mayor may call an alderman or staff member concerning your question or comments. Once you've given your input, please return to your seat so we continue our meeting. We ask that every speaker avoid the use of improper language, profanity, or other inappropriate conduct and address issues, not individuals, personalities, with malicious comments. Speakers should strive to avoid redundancy and should have their own original viewpoints. We also ask that you stay on topic of that particular agenda item. Okay, we'll start tonight's meeting with a roll call by our town recorder for a quorum.
Alderman Burnett. Oh, wrong one. Alderman Bennett and Kane are absent. Alderman White.
Here.
Vice Mayor Meyer.
Here.
Mayor Williams.
Mayor Williams here. We do have a quorum. Thank you, Allison. Now, please join me by standing for a silent prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to our country's flag, led tonight by Alderman Meyer.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Okay, we do have an agenda amendment.
Yes, sir. We'll need to remove item 6B. It's the ATMS change order number 5.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion to approve the amended agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, if in favor of approval, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Let the record show the May 22nd, 2025 amended agenda has been approved as posted. Okay, do we have any amendments to our minutes?
No, sir.
None? If none, I'll ask for a motion to approve the May 8th, 2025 minutes.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, if in favor of approval, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Let the record show the minutes have been approved as posted. I do not have anything on the mayor's report. Unfortunately, I missed the rodeo that Will and his group had, but I heard it was a real success. Does any of the other aldermen have anything to report? None? Okay, we'll start. We have no resolutions tonight, but we do have two ordinances, and we'll start off with Ordinance 2507, approval on the second reading, an ordinance to amend the Farragut Municipal Code, Chapter 12, Municipal Court, Section 12-8, Office of Municipal Court Clerk to replace the existing section in its entirety with a new ordinance court clerk to be designated by the town administrator.
There are no changes between the first and second reading, and this will authorize the town administrator to appoint an employee as the municipal clerk. The motion is to approve ordinance 2507 on second and final reading.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, any resident comments?
No, sir.
None. Okay, discussion, Alderman White,
None.
Vice Mayor.
Pass.
Okay, I have nothing as well. With discussion closed, I ask town recorder for a roll call vote, please.
Alderman White,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Meyer,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Mayor Williams, yes. Let the record show that ordinance 25-07 has been approved on the second and final reading by a 3-0 roll call vote, May 22nd, 2025, at approximately 6:06 p.m. Okay, next will be ordinance 25-08, approval on the first reading of an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2024-2025 General Fund Capital Investment Program Tourism Funds.
Yes, sir. The general fund will be increased, the expenditures will be increased by $144,050. We'll have $10,000 for public works vehicle maintenance, $35,000 for non-departmental legal services, $97,000 for non-departmental mixed drink tax. And just give you an overview of that, that's really not true expense. That is the payment to Knox County for the revenue for the mixed drink tax we get in, and we've gotten more money in than anticipated, so we do have to bump that up. And then the reclassification of first aid supplies from the general government to human resources. In the capital investment program, it'll be increased by $254,000. There'll be an increase for Virtue Road for $35,000, and then two projects will need transferred from fiscal year 24 to 25. That's Union Road for $53,000 and pedestrian warning signals for $166,000. Tourism will increase by $13,000 for a wayfinding sign project that was budgeted in 24 but not expended until 25. Motion is to approve ordinance 2508 on first reading.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, thank you. Any resident comments on this one?
No, sir.
None, so we'll go with the discussion. Alderman White?
I just have a little bit, I think it explained it though. The increase in legal fees is not anticipating any more problems, but probably fees we've already accumulated, correct?
That's correct, yes, sir. It's fees we've accumulated throughout the year, what we anticipate coming up for the next month and a half or so as well.
Okay, thanks.
Vice Mayor?
Pass.
Okay, I don't have anything as well. I will ask the town recorder for a roll call vote, please.
Alderman White,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Meyer,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Mayor Williams, yes. Let the record show that ordinance 25-08 has been approved on the first reading by a 3-0 roll call vote, May the 22nd, 2025, at approximately 6:08 p.m. Okay, next will be business items. We have 3 on the amended agenda. We'll start off with approval of requests for supplement from LDA Engineering, Inc. for additional design services for Virtue Road, Boyd Station Road Improvement Project.
And good evening. The preliminary plans for the Virtue Road and Boyd Station Road project included a greenway on the western side of Virtue Road from Evans Road south to the Grove at Boyd Station subdivision. You can kind of see it on the map here. Unfortunately, that had a pretty heavy impact to some of the properties along the way. We looked at different options, but one option that we like quite a bit is to move the greenway from the west side of the road to the east side and construct it as a boardwalk because it drops off very steep on the eastern side. Naturally, this is going to have quite a bit more design involved, and LDA is requesting a supplement of $58,000. Staff recommends approval.
Any comments?
Yes, sir. Speaker tonight, Steve Williams.
Please step to the podium and let's hear what you got to say.
Steve Williams, 721 Virtue Road. First thing I want to say is I'm really pleased that Alderman Burnett and Darrell Smith have jumped in to help us work out the issues in front of our property. And we had a great meeting, brought about the boardwalk. It looks like a really great opportunity for the town, and it helps us as well on the impact. So I'm really pleased that we're moving in that direction. What I was hoping to do, so the town didn't spend a whole lot of extra money, is we've still got we need to talk about traffic calming. We all know traffic on Virtue Road is bad, and it's speeding, and it's just loud cars and such. So I think what we need to do before we start spending another design process, and I don't know enough about how your design processes work to know where you're at, but I wanted to say, in the interest of saving money and getting the job done efficiently and upfront, if we could have some meetings, maybe some public meetings, previous to spending the money to get the engineer, because he knows where he's going today, but until we talk about traffic calming, I don't think we're ready to turn him loose. I don't think we're ready to give him a bunch of money to finish when we haven't done any traffic calming at all. The boardwalk looks good. We got some slope issues. You know, it's steep there. We got to work out some slope issues and some retainer wall issues. We got some utility issues. I'm excited that we're going in the right direction, but we haven't done any traffic calming. So I was hoping we can get our heads together. I know that we talked about traffic calming. What I like is Smith and Grisby Chapel had some really good traffic calming. Don't know if that's available, but if we don't have any meetings and talk about it, we won't know. But I think I sent Darrell an email which gave some really good data on traffic calming can slow the speed down 10 to 15 miles per hour just through traffic calming. And I think that's where we need to be. So if we could do that, I don't know the process of what's the best way to do that, but if we could all huddle together in a public meeting or however you think it needs to be done, work out these traffic calming issues, talk about flashing lights and not having flashing lights, which would be very annoying. We could work out some of these problems in advance. Then we can take the money and efficiently pay the engineer to finish. That's it.
Well, that's good information. At this moment, what we've got in front of us is what we've got to vote on. This would approve the money to do what needs to be done. That don't necessarily mean that it needs to be spent right this minute. There can be some workshops that discuss what you're talking about. And
I don't have the answer. I'm just saying we need an answer.
well, we don't have one either, so again, it just has to be discussed and see what the options are for the amount of real estate that we've got, and I think Darrell's coming back up. Great.
I'd have to look at the plans and look at the topography out there, but there's not an awful lot of room to do things. I think Steve had mentioned chicanes. But one thing that I do need to make clear is this is federally funded. They may have some heartburn over traffic calming on one of their projects. I honestly don't know. I'd have to find out. So I'll try to find out sometime next week.
Okay, Darrell. You know, one thing that I think we can think about is whenever we started on Union Road, we had one direction. We went in another direction, then another direction, and I think we're finally ready to look at it. But one of the things that did happen was the developer put in a roundabout.
Right.
And that's a federal project right there, but the roundabout's not. So maybe there's something that could happen that may not give them heartburn. I guess, like you said, you're going to check into it, so.
I'll look.
Okay, thanks. Anyone else?
I think so,
David.
Mayor.
Sorry.
I voted to spend the money for the engineering cost, but I'm not one bit happy about this at all. I'm glad, Steve, we worked something out with you where your property's not affected. But in order to do that, we affected somebody else's property across the street. I don't want to affect anybody's property.
Unless I'm wrong.
You're not in the right of way the whole way, not with a 1,500-foot boardwalk.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, you talking about building the boardwalk there. You know, we couldn't even keep we couldn't keep the teenagers out of the picket ball courts. If they wanted in there, they tore the gate down to get in. What do you think a boardwalk down by the lake's gonna be? There's gonna be kids hanging out on that thing, having a good time, riding bicycles, riding whatever. I'm not happy with putting it on either side. That's my point. I think we're wasting a lot of engineering money. You know, it's a good idea to try to connect all the trails in town, to put them all together, but sometimes something just won't work. You know, sometimes it just won't work. And we keep going overboard to try to make these things connect when it's really not necessary. Nobody's going to be using the darn thing. They don't use it now. But even with you build it out of anything, build it anywhere. If there is anybody on it, there's going to be bicycles, there's going to be skateboards, there's going to be motorized bikes. You know, these electric bikes do about 28 miles an hour. And you can put up a sign that says no motorized traffic, but you're not going to keep people off of it. They've already been on there, these electric bicycles, doing 20 miles an hour. Can you imagine you being on there with a baby stroller and somebody doing 28 miles an hour on a bicycle? I think we're just heading down the wrong path. Now, I'll make my points more when we get to the point of doing it or not, but I think we're wasting a lot of money engineering it. I don't even think we've talked to TVA whether they're going to allow it or not. You know, if you build a dock anywhere on the lake in Knox County, you got to have TVA's permission. They got to look at the design, and they tell you whether you can build it or not. I don't know whether you've even thought of that, or whether you're going to be able to build a boardwalk there or not. That'll be a question somebody should be asking TVA before we spend a lot of money and then find out we can't do it anyway. So that's all I got right now.
Okay, thank you, Alderman White. Vice Mayor? Pass. At this moment, I don't have anything. I guess, sounds like we're going to have a workshop to discuss a few things once Darrell gets a little bit of information. And we'll go back at it again, so.
Mayor, can I add just one bit of information before
Why
you
not?
vote?
Oh,
I just wanted to make sure the board's understanding too, with the federal funds, as Darrell talked about, this is an 80-20 split. So the town is actually paying 20% of this cost that you see this evening. So $58,000, roughly $11,000 would be our cost, and the rest would be federally funded. So I just want to make sure that's clear to the board.
Whatever we do, we don't want to kill the grant, the 80-20 grant. So again, we'll just see what Darrell can come up with and then. But at this moment, I think we do need to go ahead and approve the cost of for the engineer to do whatever we decide to do at a later date. So with that said, I'll ask if in favor for the vote. Say yes.
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 Yes. Okay, thank you. Let the record show that the request has been approved at approximately 6:20 PM on May 22nd, 2025. Okay, next will be approval of route construction, Town Hall contract change order number 2.
Yes, sir. In December, the board approved change order 1 in the amount of $11,219, which brings the revised contract to a little over $3 million. At the time of that contract, the PCO 34, 35, and 37 were approved. 37R was related to the upgrade of the fire alarm system. It was authorized up to $87,683 with the directive to explore opportunities for cost reduction. So change order 2 encompasses the final cost and the cost for the previously approved PCOs. The reduction in the PCO for the fire alarm system was reduced by $38,000, which makes the change order for change order number 2 in the amount of $62,438. The new contract will be $73,357. If I can speak it, spit it out. The motion is to approve change order number 2 in the amount of $62,000 for the town hall interior renovations with Wright Construction.
Okay, thank you. I'll send on the motion.
Second.
Okay. Vice Mayor. Okay. Do we have any residents signed up to comment
sir.
on this? We do not. Okay, discussion. Alderman White?
None.
None. Vice Mayor?
Pass.
I don't have anything as well. The discussion closed. I ask if in favor, vote by saying yes.
Yes.
Okay, let the record show request has been approved at approximately 6:22 PM on May 22nd, 2025. Okay, next will be approval of route construction town hall contract change order number 3.
Yes, sir. We just talked about change order 1 and number 2. Now, change order 3 encompasses the finalized scope and cost for the previously approved PCOs. Change order number 3 also includes the credit for sinks and liquidated damages. The total change, or I guess it'd be subtraction, for change order number 3 is $21,876 with a new contract of just a little over $3 million for the project as whole. The motion is to approve change order number 3 in the amount of $21,876 credit for contract 2024-07.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, any resident comments?
No, sir.
None. Okay, discussion. Vice Mayor?
It's not often we get a credit. So I like that very much. That's all.
Okay, Alderman White?
None.
I don't have anything as well. Let the record show that, well, first, if in favor, please vote by saying yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let the record show that the request has been approved at approximately 6:23 PM, May 22nd, 2025. Next will be citizen comments. Do we have anyone signed up?
No, sir.
We do not. Okay, Town Administrator's report.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. First thing I wanted to do was introduce a brand-new employee that we have this week. Allison Scott is our new executive assistant and court clerk. She just started this week, and we're excited to have Allison with us, and we have taken her to all sorts of places this week to learn all about the town of Farragut, including the rodeo yesterday that we had at Public Works. It was a great event. Public Works had a fantastic day enjoying the camaraderie and beating each other up on these different events that we had, including some cornhole time and skid steer, backhoe, you name it. So it was a great day out there at Public Works. Did want to also mention a couple other things. One is the town hall will be closed on Monday for Memorial Day. That's Monday, May 26th. And also we had, just last week, the Farragut elementary school, new elementary school groundbreaking on May the 14th. I know the mayor was there as part of that groundbreaking ceremony along with Alderman Burnett, and it was a great day. First new school built in Farragut, public school built in Farragut for about 50 years. So this is a great day to really help some overcrowding that we've had in our schools. Final thing I wanted to touch base with the board on tonight are budget transfers. During this time of year, as we get close to the end of the fiscal year, we do have budget transfers, and transfers are any items that are between the same department and the line items. So they may transfer from one a line item to another within the same department. This time of year, we have several of those as they come up at the end of the fiscal year. So I'm going to ask Town Recorder Allison Myers to walk you through each of these transfers, just to make sure that we've reported those to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen.
Yes, sir. Our first one tonight is for the Information Technology Department. We are taking $12,000 from our phone system equipment. This was equipment that we did not need to buy because it's included in our monthly cost, and transfer that to the dues and subscriptions to help pay for the agenda management software that will be implemented in the next couple of months. The next one's for Public Works. We're taking it from drainage projects, which are largely dependent on the weather conditions, and we're transferring it to clothing and uniforms. That's for additional PPE equipment, including gloves, hats, and high-visibility jackets. The next one's for the insurance fund. It's for the OPEB health insurance. We're taking $6,000 from that for lower cost than anticipated. They're moving it to the retirement benefit. This is, the employee had more banked annual leave and sick leave than originally budgeted for upon retirement. The next one's human resources. It is for professional services of $4,000, and transferring it to the first aid services. This is for the new first aid equipment on the walls and all that for the town hall. That one's for IT department. It's a transfer of $1,100 from computer equipment and software to cover costs for MuniCode, the website, and Laserfish maintenance in the amount of $1,100. Next is legislative, taking $700 from travel and training and moving it to education programs. This is due to a large number of participants in the Intro to Farragut class. Under the finance, we need $4,250 transferred from the credit card fees for lower fees than previously expended to the auditing services and to dues and subscriptions. This is for auditing services for the single audit that's required by the ARPA funding. And then we had additional dues and subscriptions for us becoming members for grant professional associations. And the final one is for general government. It's $6,400 from the equipment rental to the professional services for the security officers for the Board of Mayor and Aldermen and Planning Commission meetings.
And that's all we had to report, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Allison and David. Next will be our town attorney report.
No report.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Okay. Looks like the time is approximately 6:28 p.m. and without objection, May 28th, May 22nd, 2025, Farragut